Of course, when I start the camera, somebody jumps something over. Okay, we're the Hellmira LARP group, and we're super excited about the By Night Studios Kickstarter, so much so that our 1-year anniversary was spent doing the Alpha Slice LARP. As you can see, I played Brujah, and I'm gonna be going to each of our players, and they're gonna give a dislike and a like about what happened at our playtest tonight, and to make the game better. Yay! Okay.
Hi, my name is Josh. I'm actually new to this game. The one thing I didn't like about it, or I feel could have been improved about it, is a little bit more of a breakdown system in the character sheet. I mean, maybe a front and back to it to help like newer players better understand it. What I really liked is like generations really didn't matter when it came to this. I mean, it really depends on how you set up your characters to what your personality fixes to. But it was a lot of fun, and I would definitely do it again.
Awesome.
Hi, Brian. I ended up playing Brujah, or Ventrue tonight, not Brujah, despite how I'm dressed. What I really liked about the system was the, again, with the generational, you could have an elder in the same game as a neonate, and it wasn't as though the poor neonate was going to get squashed into small bugs. What I didn't like about the system, there was some confusion about the rules. It's been brought up, I believe, perhaps a little bit of editing needs to be done to make some of the rules a little bit more clear.
Hi, I'm Tony. I play a Ventrue Enforcer. And in my experience with the game, a lot of the negativity focused on some of the rules, some of the mechanics need to be ironed out. But a major like for me was I'm an old Shadowrun veteran, and I found the system very easy to get into. It was very familiar, and I was able to adapt to it very quickly.
Hi, I'm Sean. Obviously, Brujah. What I liked about the system the most was the fact that with Burning Wrath we could do 5 ag damage right off the bat. I played a Luminary Elder. Made things very interesting. What I didn't like, however, was sometimes the rules were a little bit clunky, especially with retests. Willpower needed to be spent. It's a little bit different than what we're used to, but definitely a good alpha start for the playtest.
I'm Chris Gunn, ST for the Hellmira Gaming Group, and I gotta say it was wonderful doing this alpha test. I really enjoyed a lot of the former kinks that we saw in the old system finally worked out, you know, whether it be generation or the way tests work. But some of the stuff didn't quite feel as intuitive as I hoped it would be. We found ourselves re-explaining stuff over and over and over again throughout the night, from challenges to spending willpower, and I just ironed a bit of that out.
Hi, I'm Sam. I really enjoyed this playtest. I've been following everything you've been putting out, and I really enjoyed the reimagining of this game. So many new powers, so many new things working in ways that we've not been used to over the past several decades. There are a lot of kinks in this reimagining, and some of the things don't quite gel. Hopefully this will work in the beta stages and then final. Looking forward to it. Enjoying playing.
Hi, my name is Julian. I played a Brujah tonight, a Luminary Elder. It was definitely an interesting thing to try out. The Elder powers seem absolutely bombastic. The only thing I really couldn't find myself liking was the first scenario when we were pitted up against ghouls that were just unbelievably powerful. But other than that, my only real confusion was around the retest system. It just seemed a bit different than what we're used to, but other than that, I've been playing for a half a year now, and this seems like a really fun game.
Hi, I'm Mark. I played Brujah Neonate. Really liked how the initiative worked out. You know, you want to initiate something based on one's powers. I also liked that it was kind of simplified on some of the disciplines and backgrounds. It was just easier to, this is more powerful, so go ahead and use it to its extent. Didn't really find anything wrong with it other than it was just the first night, and of course it's going to be a play test, so thanks.
Hi, my name is Justin. I played my first ever Brujah. I've been playing this for about a year now. And I thought I really enjoy your game. A couple things that I didn't like about it was I thought that the presence powers were kind of useless with the way that the retest options work with the willpower. I think that the retest options should be a lot more limited than they are right now. One thing that I really enjoyed was how the character sheet kind of flowed together, and it was really easy to make. I think this system's really going to bring in a lot of new players. Thanks.
Hi, my name is John. For the first time I played a Ventrue. I'm normally a Gangrel or a Brujah, so this was a little bit different for me. The things that I liked, the fact that we don't have to worry about using words to describe every physical trait that we have anymore. Putting it right back to the numbers like the original game was, I thought made everything great. And love the fact that willpower actually took care of the retests, so we don't have to worry about this retest canceling out that retest and vice versa. Beyond that, I don't really have any complaints about the game other than it took a little while to get used to, and probably still going to take a little while. Thanks.
Hey, I'm Vincent. I played as a Tremere tonight.
You were a Ventrue tonight. You can be those other clans later.
I was a Ventrue tonight, and I really loved the play style, the way this was all set up. The character sheets did fit together nicely, and it kind of introduces more tabletop style players as well, so it can open up to a few more fields of gameplay. On top of that, the combat system was fairly fluid. I did have a little bit of trouble understanding some of the retesting at first, but that was still made clear as well. The real trouble might have been the rules, though. They were fairly overpowered for starter characters and could probably be toned down a bit.
Hi, I'm Jason, head storyteller for our lovely establishment
Jason,
here.
who's Jason?
I go by a nickname. They call me Pop-Tart. It happens. Anyway, so for myself, I love character creation. I thought it was very straightforward. Spending numbers seemed a lot easier than buying individual traits to define your character overly. So I thought that was a really great thing. The thing I didn't like was perhaps the willpower-based retest seemed a little clunky. You only ran into so many options, and then you just happened to win or happened to lose, and it happened to not always be that great. I have a list here. Some of the other players who don't want to come on video have asked me to bring forward some of their concerns as well. The XP table needs a little more clarity on how you can spend things. Exceptional success seems excessive if you're only succeeding by 1 point and you're still doing all that extra damage and such. Not thrilled with having the option to only have one retest ever. Not overbidding on attacks. And apparently initiative is a bit disorganized with its physical, mental, social, this, no, everybody's tied, then I pick for you. I can kind of see some of those concerns and understand where they're coming from, and hopefully, as you get into your beta testing and so forth, we'll be able to get our hands on those fun toys, and we look forward to playing with the rest of the goodies that you give us. Thanks.
So this was my group, and we really enjoyed it. And I thought the rules that were really easy to understand, and I'm the character ST, so yay, simplified making characters. So anyway, that was our little slice of your slice. So good work.